How did it feel when you first got the news that you have been called up to the Bangladesh Under-20 national team? When we will come to Bangladesh? So, who has been your biggest football inspiration or idol growing up, and why? What really motivated you to represent Bangladesh? So, hello everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. সো প্রতিবারের মতোই আমাদের আজকেরও পডকাস্টে একজন বিশেষ অতিথি আছে, কিন্তু আজকের অতিথি বা যিনি গেস্ট আছেন তিনি আরেকটু বেশি স্পেশাল। আপনারা জানেন বিগত সময়ে এবং রিসেন্টলি আমাদের বাংলাদেশ আন্ডার-20 টিম, বিশেষ করে AFC আন্ডার-20 কোয়ালিফায়ার্স এর জন্য স্কোয়াড ঘোষণা করা হয়েছে। সো আমাদের সাথে আছেন এমন একজন আজকে বিশেষ অতিথি। He is an 18-year-old striker playing in England who has just received his first call up to the Bangladesh Under-20 national team. So please welcome Mohammed Mahe Khan. So welcome to our podcast, Mahe. First of all, congratulations on receiving your call up to the Bangladesh Under-20 national team. It's great to have you with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
So how have you been?
Alhamdulillah, I've been good. I've just been, ever since the call up, I've just been working hard, trying my best, getting ready to go to Bangladesh and show what I can do.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think? When we'll be seeing you face to face, or when we will come to Bangladesh?
So yesterday I went to get everything with my passport sorted. So we spoke to them. They said a week to 2 weeks it's going to take to get the passport sorted. So obviously the camp starts July 1st, but it just depends when I get my passport. But as soon as I get my passport, I'll be out there. So inshallah, if I can get it before July 1st, I'll be out there for the first day of the camp.
Okay, inshallah. Hopefully it works out well for you. So let's start from the very beginning. How did it feel when you first got the news that you have been called up to the Bangladesh Under-20 national team? What was the feeling you got?
It was amazing, like I've been playing football my whole life basically. Everyone dreams to represent their country. So being told, you're in, obviously it's the preliminary squad, it's not the main squad. So I've still got a lot of work to do, but it's obviously the first step into the right direction. So obviously I was so proud of myself and how far I came. So yeah, alhamdulillah, I was really happy. Yeah.
Okay. So for the Bangladesh football team, it has been a revolution since the rising of how do I say this? When Hamza Choudhury came to Bangladesh, it started to build up the momentum and it started to grow. The fan became more crazier, more passionate about Bangladesh football. So most of the cases, fans specifically are interested how the players who are playing globally, how they're connected with Bangladesh, how the origin is connected with Bangladesh. So if you don't mind, could you tell us a bit about your background? Like, how are you connected to Bangladesh? Through your parents or through your grandparents? If you can enlighten us about that.
So obviously I was born in England, but both my parents are Bengali. They were both born in Bangladesh. They were born in Sylhet, and then obviously my dad moved to England when he was 13, and then my mum moved a bit later on, and then obviously and then I was raised here, born everything, but I've still got my Bengali parents. I speak a bit of Bengali, like my culture and everything, how we do things, still do everything. Like I still feel very Bengali, but obviously I was raised in this country. But yeah, I still feel very Bengali in terms of my roots and everything.
Okay. Yeah. So you are currently playing for Rushden and Higham United. Which clubs have you played for before this in your career, like the academies or the clubs you have played?
So I started off like very young. I was just playing like grassroots football. I played for a couple local grassroots teams, and then I started playing with Kettering Town. So I played with them from like 10 to 16. So that was that, and then in between that, I've had a couple trials at pro clubs, but nothing came of it at like Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. And then after under 16s, I joined Higham, and I've been playing. That was the first team, so that was my first time playing in men's. So I've been there for 2 years now, and I'm still playing there. I'm still going pre-season's just started, so I'm going pre-season there. And then I've also been playing with Moulton's under 18s, and then I play with the first team here and there, but mainly I'm playing with Higham in terms of for my men's football and my first team football.
Okay. Yeah. So for every football players, there's always kind of like inspiration. Someone is there always a football sensation who inspires a footballer to followed those footsteps and built their career. So, who has been your biggest football inspiration or idol growing up, and why?
For me, ever since I was young, it was always Ronaldo. And I'll be the first to admit, I don't think Ronaldo is the best footballer in the world. I think it's Messi. But the reason why Ronaldo is such an inspiration to me is because he worked so hard his whole life. You know, he started off, he was very poor and everything, but he was always working hard. He's got the correct mindset, and that's helped him to stay on the top level for years and years, along with Messi, which I don't think there's any other footballer that could actually compete with Messi, because Messi is just another level. But the fact that Ronaldo kept Messi on his toes, like he was competing with him for the Ballon d'Ors, the Champions Leagues, the top goal scorers every season, which I think is remarkable, and it shows how much dedication he has. So that's why he's my idol, 100%.
Okay. Okay. So, what motivated you to choose to represent Bangladesh at the international level? Like, how you got the connection, and how did you get the call up, and what really motivated you to represent Bangladesh?
So I think it's just everyone's always going to want to represent their national country. I mean, there's millions and millions of people that live in Bangladesh, so you know, having the honor to represent millions of people, and especially for me, obviously I'm Bengali, my parents are Bengali, to have the Bangladesh badge on my shirt, it's like I couldn't ask for anything any better. So that's my motivation, and I think when you play, if you know people, you get your connections, then people start to know about you, and then eventually my video clips and everything got sent over to the people at Bangladesh, and they liked what they saw. So I spoke to them, I spoke to the coach, and they said, yeah, we liked what we saw, so we want you to come down. So yeah, that's how it all happened. But yeah.
Okay. So apart from the national team, let's move to an international part like clubs. So if you could choose any club in the world, in the future, obviously, in the world to play, which team would be your dream destination?
I think most likely it'd probably be Barcelona. I think Barcelona is it's an amazing club. You know, the amount of people that have came out of that club. Obviously, the best player in the world, Messi's came out of there, and there's just been countless players that have came out of there, and they're very successful. And Barcelona, as a club in general, they're just a massive club. Obviously, I support Manchester United. That's another club which I'd love to represent. But if I had the option, I would 100% go to Barcelona. That would be my dream club to play for.
Nice. Okay. So, we are seeing more and more players of Bangladesh heritage being called up to the national teams recently. So, how do you view this trend? Like, what do you think about the future of Bangladesh football? Recently, you have also, I think, you saw the Sullivan brothers were also called up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they are not in the squad due to their personal reasons. So, how do you view this trend?
I think it's amazing because, you know, I think Bengalis, a lot of people, they're not too interested in football. But ever since, obviously, Hamza Chowdhury, he was massive. He made Bengali football seen in a completely different light. But I think he's acted as a role model to loads of us, obviously to me and every other Bengali playing football, showing that Bengalis can play football. And I think it's also made parents realise. I feel like parents play a big factor. I think I'm very lucky that I've got my parents. They supported me my whole life. You know, when like they're working day and night, and then they'll always take me up to football when I was young. You know, I couldn't be any more grateful towards them. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in my position I'm right now. But I think there's a lot of kids in UK, USA, Australia, all these other countries that they want to play football, but it's a very big commitment for parents. That's why we don't see enough South Asian representation. But I think the fact that we have people like Hamza Chowdhury coming in, showing that people from England can play football, it's helped a lot. Obviously now more and more people, like I think in our preliminary squad there's 4 or 5 people from Australia, and obviously the Sullivan brothers, they're not here. That's another 2 from America. I think there's someone from Australia, maybe a few others from Canada, whatever. But people seeing that more, they're like, yeah, it is worth putting the effort into playing football. So I think having these people coming in from all these countries has a massive effect on Bengali football, makes it a lot more competitive, makes it seen as a lot more serious. I think people are not going to take it as a joke, like, it's just Bengali football, whatever. I think Bengali football is being seen as a lot more serious now. And I think as the years come on, there's just going to be more and more talent coming out. And I genuinely think in a few years, Bangladesh could seriously compete. Hopefully, we could maybe go off to the Asian Cup and compete, maybe get into World Cup qualifiers. And yeah, I think it's the right step forward for Bangladesh football.
Okay. So as you mentioned before in the last answer that your parents helped you a lot. They are the guidance helped you to move forward a lot. So what do you think and how do you view this? If I ask you like that, if how do you think the support was the most necessary thing from your parents? Like if you see the culture in Bangladesh, if I keep aside Bangladesh, in the South Asian region, there is a thing like the sports are not that much motivated, or if for the students or for the children, they are
Yeah,
not inspired to become a sports person. So for you, how was that? Like, how did you manage your parents, or did they were the reason that you choose football as your career or passion?
I think I just got lucky that my dad, he's always been a football man. He loves football. He played when he was younger. He's always watching football. And I think him having his passion for football sort of pushed, that's why he was naturally pushing me to play football. And obviously, my mum, she's not as much involved, but she supports it. Whenever I've got a big game, she'll always come up and she's always like in the crowd. She's excited when I'm playing and everything. So parents are massive towards football because I think a lot of parents, they just think, oh, there's no point in playing football. It's a waste of time, waste of money. They should just go to school, get an education. But there's no reason why you can't play football and have an education. Like I've just done my A levels now, and inshallah after in September I'll be going off to uni. So it doesn't, just because you're playing football and you're putting effort into football, working hard, it doesn't mean you still can't get your education. So I think there's a big like focus in a lot of South Asian parents, not just Bengalis, just South Asian in general, that people should just focus on school, which I don't think it's right because there's a lot of talent in South Asia, and I don't think we see enough of it. So yeah,
So hopefully the parents will also from the South Asian region will get inspired from the journey you have been
yeah,
currently bearing on.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
apart
exactly.
from that, finally, I have something to ask you. Like, do you have any message for the fans who are supporting you and following your journey?
Obviously, yeah. So I've seen a few people they've questioned, is he good enough to be playing out there? Which I accept is fair because it just shows how much the fans care about their team. That if they see someone, they want to know, oh, is he good? Is he that good? So yeah, obviously I've seen people say, oh, can he hack it? But I just want everyone to know now, I'm working as hard as I can. And once I get out there in Bangladesh, I'm going to put my 100% in. I'm going to show everyone that I'm good enough to play here. And inshallah, I'll make it into the final squad, score some goals, and show everyone.
Okay. So Mahi, that's all from us, and thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a
Thank you very much.
story. Okay. It was really nice speaking to you and hoping for the best. We wish you all the best for your career and hope to see you do well with the Bangladesh Under 20 team. So, to all our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.